Oh, hello. It's me again. Um, Welcome to another episode of News from the Gelding. Now, this is just an impromptu one. I wasn't going to do one until next month regarding paintings, but this week I've done quite a few, so I thought I'd just bloody show them. Why not? Now, if you would rather me do these once a week or once a month, let me know. I was just thinking if I waited till the end of the month, I would just have loads to show. It might be a bit boring. But so if you want it every week, let me know. I won't always have paintings to show after each week, so maybe just do it as and when I have them. What do you think? Right, so this week, what have I done? Lots of painting. Other news, me eye problems come back. See that there? Which one is it? This one. So I think I've got something called blepharitis. I know my mum, she suffers from it, and it means that your eye, some ducts are permanently blocked. So, and there's no cure for it. So, it means that early in the morning and late at night, my eye just becomes like a really dry marble, and it really hurts. There's bugger all you can do about it other than clean it really well with some very mild detergent soap. Use baby shampoo and wash that little bastard. That helps a little bit, but it just comes and goes, and then occasionally it inflates and it looks like I've been punched in the eye. Maybe I should have just said I had a fight with someone. That might have been more exciting. But no, it's just blepharitis. Right, what else? At work yesterday, I had another fucking puncture in my work car. It is the worst one yet because I just picked up the children from the school and was taking them home. And go down lots of really crappy country lanes, and because of all the rain we've had recently, lots of water filling up potholes, and I can't remember where all of them are, and I must have hit one. I remember hitting one. It was quite hard, and I was looking at my tire pressure gauge constantly, waiting for the puncture symbol to come up, and it was okay for a while. And then sure enough, it came on, and I was losing 1 psi every 10 seconds. So I had to pull over, found a quiet road, and then had to wait. Called the RAC. They said it was going to be 2 hours. So in the end, my boss came out, took the wheel off, drove it into Exeter, fixed the puncture, new tyre, back again. So that took it took just as long as the RAC would have taken to come out. But because the children we drive are vulnerable children, 2 of them are non-verbal, they were actually very, very good. We were worried because one of them especially becomes quite distressed if the car stops, but he was okay, thank goodness. So we had to get all the parents to come and pick him up in this village that we found ourselves in. Yeah, it was a nightmare, but anyway, we survived to fight another day. Right, so yes. Right, doom and gloom of obviously in the news at the moment. I'm trying to avoid it as best I can because I'm just this kind of person that worries overly. So that's another reason I've got right back into painting just as a way of escaping. So that's why I've done so many of the blighters. I've got 6 to show you in a week. So the first one I'll show you is the one I've used for the thumbnail. So let's get that blighter out. I finished this one last night. So yesterday, here we go. So all of these that I'm going to show you today, I haven't been able to photograph very well because they're all wet. So you can see a sheen there. But so this background I did last week, maybe a couple of weeks. I'm just playing around with pattern a bit more. After the one I showed last week, Medusa, with the kind of curly hair effect. This one I did a similar thing. I just let the brush do what it wanted, and it kind of resembled brickwork in a way. Anyway, then I I just did another one of these portraits over the top. Yeah, and I think it was okay. I did the whole portrait yesterday, about 3.5 hours during the day, and then I finished off another hour in the evening. So yeah, what do you think? I quite like putting them, like I've done a couple like this now where they're just gazing out across the background. I haven't got a name for this one. If you want to name it, let me know. At the moment, I've called it Brick Girl. Not very imaginative. But yeah, I quite enjoyed doing that one. I'm trying to practice portraits as much as I can. But I'm still very uncertain. Every time I begin a painting, I really don't know what's going to happen. But I like that. I think the moment I know exactly what I'm doing, I'll just get bored of it. So there we are. Right, the other ones are all abstract ones, hence the fact I did them so quickly. Well, not. It's a kind of misconception in a way. The abstract ones don't take as long. Obviously, they don't take as long as something like that because I've got to really think about it constantly. But there's a difficulty inherent with abstract painting because it can go tits up at any moment because you don't really know what you're doing. But it's quite exciting to do at the same time. So this next one I'm going to show you now, this one will not show very well because it is very wet. Well, it's not too bad. But you can see if I move it, it's quite thick. I've applied it very thickly. So this one was a total experiment. And it was a process really of putting the paint on very, very thick with a palette knife and then taking it away again with a brush and imparting various details and trying to get something of a structure. So it's playing really with the lack of control that you have with a palette knife used in this way, and then the slightly more refined technique of removing paint and sculpting a form within it. So yeah, totally made it up on the fly. It's a doodle in a way, painting doodle. But yeah, it's good because it's using colours I wouldn't necessarily pair together, or colours that you wouldn't necessarily want to pair together. But I think those work okay. The greens and the reds are dominating, and then a bit of a dark colour. It looks way better in person, I must say. That doesn't do it much justice, but there we are. The next one's just a very simple. I did this a while ago. In the week, all I did was painted the sides blue just to reference some of the colours. Now this one's still wet, so I've got to be careful. Some of it's still wet. So it's just I was just playing with colour, using the palette knife to make these strange forms. I really like that blue. It really pops next to the... Oh, it's going to fall off in a minute. Next to the reds and the yellows, or the yellow ochre. Now, I don't know if this one's finished. I may do something over the top, but probably not a portrait. When you apply paint this thickly, it's very difficult to do a portrait over the top because you would see the raised paint beneath it and it would be slightly distracting, I think. Okay, next in my box of wonders. Right, this one is it's kind of, as I was doing it, I had in mind a kind of futuristic city. So that's kind of what I was going for with this one. So it looks kind of vague in the background. You can see kind of ginormous forms further back, and then slightly more detail that I've applied with a flat brush. So again, a combination of brushwork and palette knife, but I really like these blues and those yellows. Nothing more to be said. I think this one's done. I don't know if I don't know if I'd put a portrait on there. I think that one's done. A lot of these probably won't sell, but I just really enjoy doing it. If it doesn't sell, I'll do what I normally do, scrape the bugger off and paint something else over the top. Well, I won't scrape it off, just paint over the top. Okay, so that's Futuristic City. If you've got better names for these, let me know. Okay, another abstract. Oh, this one's nice. Well, I quite like this one. This is again with the old palette knife. Now you can see again very thickly applied. So once it's dried, it's going to be quite a tactile object. See, it's very hard to display it properly. The red and a very dark blue, really, but with also burnt umber mixed in as well. So again, playing around with the palette knife and trying to achieve some kind of pattern, but a pattern that's kind of, how do you say, what's the word? No, it's gone. But so it all kind of works together. There's a word for that. Let me know what it is. Harmonious. So yeah, so I was trying to achieve a kind of harmony, but with these varying shapes and tones. I quite like this one because this kind of painting has a very high potentiality to get fucked up, but it didn't, luckily. And it's all wet on wet, so this particular one, so it can very easily turn into a mud mixture exercise. Yeah, I was going to say something else about that. What was it? It looks a bit better if you turn it. There you go. No, it's gone. Can't remember what I was going to say. Okay, the very last one is one that I'm not sure about. I'm not sure if I finished it. I'm not sure about anything, really. I did this one. This one's wet as a fish. Sides seem to be okay. So this one looks like a Christmas tree, doesn't it? But in a vague sort of way, I was trying to go for I suppose a castle and lots of different buildings hugging the sides of a mountain peak or a hillside. Again, using the palette knife just to drag paint and then leave behind kind of artifacts of paint that I can't control. I don't think this is finished, so I'll probably do something else over the top, add to it in some way. But I'm going to let this layer dry. But I like the again, yellow ochre over this pink and kind of violet background. So the pink and violet background had previously dried. I did this one back along. I didn't really like it that much. It didn't do much. I was going to do something over the top. I did this bloody thing and it looks like a Christmas tree. So I don't know if it's not going to look like that later. So there we are. That's what I've been working on this week. Maybe I'll pop this one on eBay soon, maybe. But I need to let them all dry before I do anything with them, really. Hello, it's me again. I just thought I'd pop in a little extra here. I remember what I was going to say earlier regarding the tactile feel of, once it's dried, of that red abstract painting. Now, there's a lot of snobbery in the art world regarding whether you should be allowed to touch a painting. And it's a no-no. It's generally accepted that you shouldn't touch a painting. Obviously, when you have oils and various things on your fingers at any one time, there's usually oils there, and they could over time damage a painting. But fuck that. I don't give a shit about that. I like to be able to touch a painting. Not necessarily hands all over it, but if there's a tactile quality to it, if there's raised paint, I want to touch that thing. And you should too. So I've got into the habit now of varnishing my painting, so that gives a layer of protection anyway. As long as you haven't got hands full of filth, then feel free to cavort with my paintings if you buy one. Make love to them if you wish. They're there to be enjoyed. I remember I don't remember, it was an exhibition somewhere, and I was with a friend and they just touched a painting. They just it was just like a natural impulse, and some old fucker was like, "Don't touch the paintings." And it's like, I wanted to say, won't you just fuck off? Who gives a shit? I mean, the painting was crap anyway. But yeah, there's my little 2p piece of insight into the art world. Fuck off, art world. Don't give a shit about you. Yeah, paintings are there to be enjoyed, and yeah. Anyway, I'll let the earlier John say goodbye, but I'll say cheerio as well. Cheerio. But yeah, that's all from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back next week, I think, with a book review, I think. I don't know if I'll be doing any more painting this week, but I might do. Thanks for watching, and cheerio. Say goodbye, Sir Percival.
I like to touch paintings with my wand.
Ooh, naughty. Cheerio.